Reported speech, part 2, reporting questions and orders. Reported speech, as we said before in part 1, is when you want to tell somebody else what you or a person said before. In part 1 of this lesson, we studied reported statements. Now we will learn reported questions and orders. So, how do we report questions? Before we get to know how can we report questions, we have to know that we have two kinds of questions. We have yes or no questions and WH questions. Yes or no questions are the question that requests a yes or no as an answer. Example, do you like tea? The answer can be yes I do or no I don't. Next example, is she your sister? The answer can be yes she is or no she isn't. So as you notice here, the answer to these questions requests a yes or no as an answer. That's why we call them yes or no questions. Now let's move to WH questions. WH questions are the question that starts with a WH. Example, where do you live? I live in Morocco. What's your name? My name is Asma. As you notice here, WH question is asking about specific information. So, as an answer, we need to give an answer about a specific information. It's not a yes or no question. Now, let's start with yes or no questions and get to know how do we report yes or no questions. The first thing we are going to see is the reporting verbs. So we have here two reporting verbs that we can use. Asked if and wanted to know if. They are questions. That's why we are going to use one of these reporting verbs. Asked if or wanted to know if. Let's see the examples. Here we have a direct speech. In this direct speech, of course, we have a question. Do you like video games? Do you like video games? He asked. So in the reported speech, we are going to say, he asked if, this is what we said, this is the reporting verbs we are going to use. He asked if I liked video games. I liked. So the verb in the direct speech is in the simple present, and in the reported speech it becomes simple past. These are some of the changes that we have already seen in part 1 of this lesson. So we have to go back to part 1 to see what are the changes that happens from direct speech to indirect speech or reported speech. Now let's see other examples. Did you see this film? She asked. Did you see this film? She asked. Reported speech. She asked if. She asked if he had seen that film. Look in the direct speech. We have did you see. Did you see is conjugated in the simple past. So what did we say about the simple past in direct speech? It becomes past perfect in reported speech. And this is what happened here. We say, did you see? It becomes had seen. And also we have in direct speech this. It becomes that in reported speech. So the reported speech here is she asked if he had seen that film. Let's see another example. Have you finished the exercise? The teacher asked. Have you finished the exercise? The teacher asked. So let's see the reported sentence. The teacher wanted to know Here I want just to change the reporting verb, but you can use also here the teacher asked if, or you can also say the teacher wanted to know if I had finished the exercise. I had finished the exercise. So in the direct speech we have you finished? We have the present perfect, which becomes the past perfect in the reported speech. And of course there is no question mark because in the reported speech it's no longer a question. I'm just reporting the question and it's no longer a question. As you noticed here, the auxiliary verbs do, did, and does isn't reported from direct speech to reported speech. Why? Because they are only auxiliary verbs. They only help the main verb. And in the reported speech, we report only the main verb of the sentence. Okay? As in the first example, do you like? It becomes if I liked. Did you see? It becomes if he had seen. And we did not report do or did or does because it's only an auxiliary verb. Now let's move to WH questions and see how can we report them. Of course, we start also with the reporting verbs, which are asked and wanted to know. Asked and wanted to know. Here in WH questions, there is no if, like in yes or no questions. In yes or no question, we said asked if or wanted to know if, but here with WH questions, there is no if. We only use asked or wanted to know. So let's see the examples here. In direct speech, we have the question that says, what time do you start work? What time do you start work? My friend asked. In the reported speech, we say, my friend asked me what time I started work. Or we can say, my friend wanted to know what time I started work. So here, what time do you start is in the present, and in the reported speech it becomes started. Let's move to the next example. When did you eat your dinner? When did you eat your dinner? My mother asked. My mother asked me when I ate my dinner. Here we can say me or we can omit it. We can say my mother asked when I ate my dinner. I can't do without me. My mother asked when I ate my dinner. Let's move to the next example. What movies have you watched this week? What movies have you watched this week? She asked. Reported sentence. She asked me what movies I had watched that week. You see the changes that happened here? We always have the reporting verb. She asked or he asked or she wanted to know. We say she asked me. We can say me or we can do without it. We can say she asked what movies I had watched. I had watched is in the past perfect, and in the direct speech it was have watched. So present perfect becomes past perfect in the reported speech. This week becomes that week, and of course it's not a question, so there is no question mark, and it's not a direct speech, so there are no quotes. Let's see the last example. Where is she from? He asked. Where is she from? He asked. Reported speech. He asked where she was from. You see here? The structure here differs from direct to reported. In the direct we have where is she from? It's a question, so we start with the verb. But in the reported speech, it's not a question. So we say he asked where she was, not was she, because it's not a question here. So he asked where she was from. Now we will move to imperative sentences or orders. How do we report orders? In orders or imperative sentences, al-amr, we use a reporting verb that is told. We say told me or told her or told him or told us or told them to. Okay, so told to. Let's see the examples. He said, be quiet. Here, be quiet is an order, amr. Someone, if I was talking a lot, for example, I was in the mosque and I was talking a lot, and someone said, shh, be quiet, it's a mosque. You should respect the place. So, be quiet here is an order. It's an imperative sentence. Look at the reported sentence here. He told him, or he told me, or he told her, it depends. He told him to be quiet. You see, here it's very easy because we have to, and after to we know that the verb is in the infinitive. It's okay. He told him to من وراها كيبقى الفيرب كما هو ما كيتصرفش لأن to كتبعها الفيرب في الانفينيتيف ما كيتصرفش. So he told him to be quiet. Next example. Go to the bank. He said, go to the bank. It's an order. He told me to go to the bank. He told me to go to the bank. So reporting verb هو told me. Okay, we say he told me to, or he told him to, or he told her to. And after to غيبقى of course sentence في الإمبيراتيف كما هي لأن to كتبعها everything is in the infinitive. So he told me to go to the bank. Next example, don't eat the cake. Don't eat the cake, the mother said. Pay attention here. هنا عندنا الإمبيراتيف ولكن راها في النيجاتيف يعني فيها not. Don't eat the cake. So in the reported sentence, what are we going to say? The mother told them. Them here means the children, the kids. The mother told them not. حيت عندنا النيجاتيف يعني خصنا نديرو النيجاتيف. هنا في النيجاتيف في الريبورتين في الريبورتد سنتنس غناخدو غير not وغنزيدو من وراها to اوف كورس من وراها to راه غيبقى كلشي في الانفينيتيف. The mother told them not to eat the cake. Not to eat the cake. here حيت عندنا negative. It's okay. ولكن for example إذا قالت لهم eat the cake. So the mother told them to eat the cake. هنا عندنا don't eat the cake. The mother told them not to eat the cake. Next example. The policeman said, show me your identity card. Show me your identity card. This is an order. البوليسي أمرني باش نعطيه كارت ناسيونال. The policeman said, show me your identity card. So the reported sentence is the policeman told me. هنا لأنه أمر نقدروا نديروا عوض told me نديروا ordered me. أمرني. Told me, ordered me. The policeman told me or ordered me to show him to يعني من وراها راه الفيرب يبقى كما هو to show him my identity card. To show him my identity card, or as we said before, the policeman ordered me to show him my identity card. I would like to tell you goodbye and stay home, stay safe, stay positive.